everybody, happy Monday, happy Monday, happy 2022. This is Overpass Live. I'm Eric. I make apps. This is the weekly live stream where we just hang out and talk about whatever we want to talk about, but usually it's app related. So it's been it feels like it's been ages since I've done one. It's got to be at least almost a month since I've done a live stream. I think I was tailing off towards the end of December. December was a weird month for me because I kind of felt like that's one of those where you just start winding down a little bit too early. And I was like, the Monday was coming along. It's like, I need to get some shopping done. So, doing all the Christmas shopping and catching up with everything. And then, between Christmas and New Year, I mean, who's going to work between Christmas and New Year? I mean, I did on lots of my own stuff, which I'm pretty excited about. So I'm working on my own projects, but, for the most part, not working so much between Christmas and New Year. Actually, no, I did do a few days, but, and then of course the start of the new year, it was like, well, last Monday was a bank holiday here in England. So anyway, excuses, done with. Now it's today. Although next week is Martin Luther King Day in the States, but I can't celebrate every single holiday. So anyway, it's been an interesting year so far, but it feels like it's been ages. It feels like New Year's Eve it doesn't feel like it was a week ago. It was like 4 weeks ago or something like that. So anyway, one of my New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to say this just right off the bat, is to do 2 videos a week. So I did 2 videos last week because last year I kind of really didn't get many done. So I did 2 last week. I have none yet for this week. So that's something that I'm working on. I'm trying to do anyway. I really missed you guys. I'm glad you guys are here. And sorry the live stream's a few minutes late because it's been so long since I've done one. Like USB cables gone missing, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, we're sorted. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining. For those guys who are here, let's see. MD, Happy New Year, Eric. Happy New Year to you too. Do I get a free T-shirt for being the first? I don't know. I have 4 of these T-shirts. No, I got 6 of them, I guess. And it's for a while I was gonna be that's gonna be my thing. I'm gonna wear these T-shirts. And we also have the ones on the YouTube channel, like the ones that we did, like the I make apps T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. Those things were selling like hotcakes. I tell you, over the last 4 or 5 years that we've had those T-shirts on there, I've sold 2. I think, and one of them was me. I know one of them was me. So for those guys who are ever wondering, sometimes people say what's more successful, your YouTube channel or your apps? Definitely the apps, right? You just try little things. My whole thing is I didn't want to charge for content. To me, to charge for content was one of those things where it's I'll just become one of those app guru guys who I detest. I'll share you my app secrets with you if you pay however much a month. So it's one of those things I never actually did. But then I thought, well, put the T-shirts and the merchandise on there, and that never really took off. But yeah, off on a ramble there. And MD says, did you hear about the low-budget iPhone that's supposed to be the Android killer? I haven't. That would be interesting, though. I mean, but really, the thing is, a low-budget Android phone is still pretty good. Right, a low-budget iPhone would be they know it's low budget. It's one of the things where I can remember when I was looking at getting rid of Adobe Suite. So I use Adobe Premiere. I was using Final Cut Pro. I was using Final Cut Pro when I was thinking about going to Adobe Premiere for video editing. And but Adobe Premiere, the whole suite is expensive, but they had Premiere Elements, right? And already I'm knowing they're making something to compete with because they have this high price on Adobe, but by the fact that they have something that's lower rate, all of a sudden they're going to start skimping on stuff. And an iPhone would be that too. I mean, you can't take the expensiveness out of Apple without them, at least psychologically, diminishing the experience for their users. But that would be interesting to see. I mean, because that is a big barrier to iPhone development. Even just iPhone development is the $99 a year for a lot of developers who just want to get started, but also just having a test device. So I know a lot of developers I work with, the reason they don't do iPhone development is because they can't afford an iPhone. And I totally get that. And I've got 3 in front of me right now. No, I've got 2 in front of me. 1 is in my pocket. But no, that would be cool. Joni Goosens. Hey, Joni, how's it going? Hi, Eric. I'm starting my own company as my app revenue is becoming too high. Wow, that's good. My revenue is coming from in-app purchases and AdMob. Do you know if I need to pay VAT on AdMob revenue? The country is Belgium. I don't know what it's like for Belgium. I know for here, I think ad revenue is not like for in-app purchases. Well, yeah, I'm saying this because this is what my accountants told me. So okay, let's just do a disclaimer here. I am not an accountant. I know nothing about nothing. I am like, I can't even tie my shoes in the morning when I wake up. But this is what we do. So like for me, the average ad revenue is tax exempt, but in-app purchases are VATable. So you do have to pay VAT on that, and it's different for each country. So every quarter I have to send my my Google Play financial reports to my accountant so they can calculate all that. And Apple's different. Apple has a different system, so Apple, they take care of that on their side. So it's really kind of weird the way that the dynamics are different between those two. So I don't know what it'd be like in Belgium, but I imagine it'd be kind of the same. I mean, I know we're in the post-Brexit world now, but I think we probably still have the same kind of, like we haven't changed that much where we're probably still the same kind of systems. App 404 says, I'm a diehard neuralgorithmic fan. Is he here? Where is he? Is he doing content now? Adrian, hey, Adrian, how's it going? Celtic goes, Happy New Year. Happy New Year's to you too. Matt says, have you ever thought about moving to Unity for your games? I'm exhausted with dealing with Play Store policies and the stress. I thought about, yeah, I mean, I keep starting the Unity tutorials and stuff like that. And to me, I still really like Corona SDK and Solar 2D, and every so often, but I'm not going to start a new project in those kind of things because even though it's all open source and it seems like, oh yeah, no, don't worry, we're still keeping this thing going. It's like my confidence is not quite there, because there's not a company there, or like, it could easily be abandoned or whatever. And if you look at, and just over time, back in 2013, 2014, there was loads of resources on Corona SDK, and now there's like, it's just dwindling. So, I mean, to maintain my existing apps, I do. So I've looked at, looking into Unity, thinking, maybe we just move, especially the 2D stuff, like move it into Unity 2D. And it was just something I didn't like about the interface. I don't like the fact that you're reliant on that IDE rather than in Corona. And this, I could be wrong about this because this is just me literally doing a few tutorials, and the tutorials are saying, okay, so next thing you're gonna have to do is go into this, double click on this, that brings up the code editor for that, and then you close that, double click on this, and I didn't like that the dependence on the IDE for that. So I was also looking at Flutter Flame, right? So Flutter Flame is or Flame is like a runtime, a game engine for Flutter, so they can do all the sprite management and the game loop and stuff like that. Oh, you guys can hear me, right? You guys can hear me. I should always check that in the beginning. Let me just make sure that you guys aren't still saying can't hear you. Okay, cool. So but the thing I found with Flutter Flame was I started doing it. I'm using a tutorial from like 4 months ago, and the platform had changed so much that none of the examples I was using worked, right? So I had to go through and find out upgrading from this to this, from this, I can't remember what version it was. It was like, I think it was going from 0.76 to 0.1. I'm just guessing now. It was something like, it moved from one version to another, and like the namespaces had changed, so much of it had changed that I spent most of the time trying to find out, okay, what is it now, right? And that is something I cannot stand. Like if you have a framework, you have to make it backward compatible, right? You can't just have everything break every time you upgrade it. So that was one of those things where it was a non-starter for me. So I'm still on the lookout for like a really good game engine. To me, I like Corona. I like the fact that it was just, the hot reload worked really well and everything like that. And I've tried to just use like normal programming language. I've tried to do a game in Xamarin Forms, and which is not meant for games. But when the basic concepts of it, like having a game loop and everything, it should be fine because you're just basically setting your FPS rate based on that timer. So you're just constantly writing to a canvas, clearing down the canvas, writing down, just at a high frame rate, and all your objects can have their own pixels move left and forth. But then you get into the bit where it's like sprite sheets or something that I can't find a good library for that and stuff like that. So how's that for a ramble? Sometimes I think I just try to get a little bit more technical than normal, just so you guys because I feel a bit like I do all these YouTube videos, and I just want you guys to know I've got some chops, right? I got game. I know what I'm talking about sometimes. But like you Unity guys might be like, Eric, you're so full of it. Like Unity could do all that stuff. And maybe I just gave up too early. But what do you guys think about it? Who's a Unity developer out there? And what do you think about it? What do you really like about it? And what don't you like about it? Kevin, hey, how's it going? Congratulations on all the YouTube subscribers you've gotten. Let's see. Theo Taylor is in the house. Happy New Year and happy to be in the house. Hey, how's it going, man? Passcode says a New Year's resolution: lose a bit off weight, man. Get that 6-pack. Me? That is. I did put on some weight on over Christmas, and that's one of my. But that's about all my. I've been like overweight, so and when I say that, people usually say, oh no, you're not, because but then you like. Statistically, I'm overweight, and I've been like for a while. I was borderline, and now I'm just kind of like a little bit nudged up. Last time I weighed myself the other day, it was 191 pounds. So it's like and I'm 5'10", so I guess that makes me I'm not in the obese column, but I'm in the overweight column. And so and I can't remember the last time I was like not in the overweight column. So this year I do want to try to get it down, because I put on a lot of muscle, which is good, like over the last few years. But like there's no 6-pack here. This is why I face that way. If I just talk like this, we'll be fine. But no, passcode. Take it. Point taken and agreed with. Adrian says, been waiting for Amazon to bring out a smartphone to crush the app and physical product market in one fell swoop. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's like, it's the three things. See, with me, it's the music providers. Like, I had Apple Music for a while. So I've had Google Play Music for years, right? Because I'm an Android guy. Like I was Android guy, everything. We use G Suite for business stuff. We've got everything's tied into the Google account, which is why when Google comes out and says, they're going to cancel an account, you just have to create a new one. It's like, no, that messes up everything. I want to have one account that controls everything. That's what Google is good for, right? Especially when it's cached in your browser and you go to something else, you don't have the whole login and everything like that. But Google Play Music wasn't working with my Amazon speakers. So they work with the Google speakers, but I wanted to try the whole Amazon thing. I've got both. So then I thought I switched over to Spotify, which works most of the time. Like, but sometimes you'll say, play this music, and I'll say, okay, playing that music. And it was like, nothing. It's just like, whatever. So then I switched to Apple Music, but then that doesn't work on, so like if Amazon came out with a phone, then we'd have to start looking at the Amazon App Store more seriously. I have not updated Amazon App Store at all. I get like a check. I get like a deposit every month for like $1, like $1 or $2. Like there's still payments coming in from that, and I haven't updated anything since 2016. It's kind of funny that stuff's still out there. And every time all my apps on the Amazon store got really bad reviews, right? And then we're getting better reviews on Google Play. But let's see. Pasco says, MyFitnessPal is great for that, dude. Lose some weight and get that 6-pack. No more pizza in the oven. 2022, prioritize your health. Let's go. All right, I get it. Oh, but a good pizza. See, this is the thing. I've been trying. I'm not. So, my New Year's resolution. Oh, let me show you my New Year's resolution list. It's in my back pocket. Basically, it's a mind map of New Year's resolutions, right? And one of them is, this year I am giving up McDonald's. Right? And a lot of you guys, and every time I tell somebody that, they're like, dude, that's easy. Like, I hate McDonald's. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I think I got a problem. It's too convenient. It's always there. It's like that thing. It's got some sort of weird trigger for me where I'm just like, oh, screw it. I'm just going to go get like a Big Mac or something, right? So this year, no McDonald's. And everyone always asks, well, what about like Burger King and KFC? It's like, no, those are okay. Like, baby steps. So like I'm prioritizing my health. Like I go to the gym 5 days a week. I run a lot. I do a lot of stuff, but yeah, my diet is horrendous. So I have been using MyFitnessPal. Actually, no. Last year I subscribed to MyFitnessPal and then I stopped using it because all right, do any of you guys have any New Year's resolutions you want to talk about? Let's bring them up, because I've been asking everybody that, and I think to me it's like one of those things. Like I'll share you guys with my mind map if you want. YA says, hi, Eric. Just released my first iPhone app. Congratulations. Which platform would you recommend to advertise? I tried Facebook ads. I tried Facebook. It had no downloads. And what amount would you recommend to start? I would start with a very low amount, like five. No, let's say. Because if you're not getting any downloads, it's probably not the platform. It's probably your ad, which is why you don't want to put a lot of stuff into it. Because ultimately, all any ad network is going to do is put that ad in front of a lot of people. And with Facebook, you have those, the way you could specify the exact demographics. Like I want it to be, menopausal women with 3 children or whatever. Like if you know what your demographic is that you want to target, then you can. And you could also experiment with little things like that. But if no one's clicking on it, then you've got a problem with your ad. If people are clicking on it and they're actually going to your Play Store page your App Store page and not actually downloading the app, then there's something wrong with your screenshots and all that kind of stuff. Right? So something needs to be compelling, because all anybody could do is put it in front of people. And if I were to see your ad and be like, scroll past it, you could make the argument that Facebook has too many ads and you're just like, you're blind to it, so you don't even notice it. But that's like all ads anywhere. So how do you actually stand out and do that? Can you say something that's a bit more sensational, something a bit, gets them to, basically what you want to do is get them to stop scrolling. And what you need to do is set like a very low budget and check the impressions. You don't want the budget to be so low that there's no impressions, but you want the impressions and the click-through rate on those impressions to increase before you start putting money into it. Like let's say every time your ad is seen, for every 100 impressions you get 10 clicks. That would be amazing. I mean, that would be really, really good, right? Because then people will be clicking on it and going through to your Play Store page or App Store page. If you go through to your App Store page, and then that means that will be working. Then you can start saying, okay, so I know for every $10 I spend, I will get 1 download or 1. Yeah, you have to differentiate between clicks and the download, so you make sure that you're going all the way through. But and also put those Facebook libraries in your app too, so you could actually track it all the way through the process. But I mean, yeah. So if you weren't going to do that, if you wanted to just go for a scattergun approach, like if you weren't really looking for a specific niche, like I said, menopausal women with 3 kids. Like if you just wanted to be like, I just want to get in front of as many people as possible, then you want to go for cheaper ads with something like AdMob or a universal app campaign, and try to and depending on which region you focus on, that's how expensive. Then it's going to be more expensive or less expensive. So if you're going to do it in, say, like a lot of countries, you're going to get really cheap impressions. But if you want to say, but you'll have to look at the revenue too, because the revenue is going to be higher from the United States or a lot of the Western countries from those applications. The ad revenue is going to be more. The in-app purchase likelihood of in-app purchase would be higher and all that stuff. At least that's been my experience so far. But you have to play with that because every app is different. Last time they tried it, it flopped. Might still be recovering. Okay. Joni says, did you notice a drop in Google Play downloads since they made the rating country specific? I lost the rating in some of my countries and had a small drop in overall downloads. I haven't noticed. I mean, I've been, for the Google Play side of things, I haven't been focusing so much on those downloads lately. I've just been looking at the revenue report each day just to see how that's going, and it's it's still pretty low. I think one of the problems I have is like I have so many apps that there's so many to look at that I used to like when I just had one, it was easy to just go in there and go, okay, let's tweak this, do this. And then when I had 10, it was easy, but when I had 100, it became a lot more difficult. So now, and when my big ones were removed, or my big one was removed, then it was kind of like the rest of them were like kind of on an equal footing. But I mean, what about the rest of you guys? Have you noticed that? It would make sense though. I always thought it was great that you could get those reviews. The ratings were like were global but the reviews weren't, because that seems to make sense to me. Like, why would it be different in different countries? But I guess Andy says, will you suggest Flutter for a newbie with zero programming knowledge? Yeah, I would. I would. I mean, because you could get it up and running with, it's got that really cool boilerplate. I mean, when I say really cool, it's like, yeah, I can count and it maintains the state. Let's see, what other ones can you go for? Yeah, trying to think of the best one for like a newbie with no programming knowledge. Because you're going to have to get programming knowledge in something. And a lot of those skills are going to be transferable across things. I would say you could go into, if you did Java, I mean, there's certain languages that are just similar to each other. C#, Java, JavaScript to a certain extent, and Dart. They're all very similar in design. Something like C++ or Objective-C is like, totally different. So I would say go with with any one of those, because what matter what you do. The nice thing with Flutter is like you at least get something up and running, right? You might do the thing where you do it says your number count is whatever, and then you say, okay, I'm going to change that text, and you see the text update. But then from then on, you have to learn all those widgets and how each one works and how the flow of everything works. And in terms of the layout stuff, I think you could probably get it pretty quickly. Another one is, so lately I've been I started an application. Actually, no, I hired somebody to start an application for me last year in Flutter, and we were doing it, and then he just sort of like went, I think I complained about it on the last live stream. He was like taking forever, and then it was like, I don't think he was actually working for me. It was one of those kind of things where it was like, you're telling me you're working an 8-hour day, but we haven't seen anything for like a week. So it was kind of crazy. So in the end, I took it, and I had so much trouble getting the Flutter to run that I rewrote it in Xamarin Forms, which is it was just because it was quicker for me to do, just because it's something I use a lot already. And whereas Flutter, I like the elegance of Flutter. I like the quick reload, and the fact that it's less rigid. Like just the fact that it's a bit like when you, like in the old days when you compare a desktop form like in Visual Basic or something to a web page. A web page adjusts itself to the way it does. Like you don't have like a gap if you hide something, or just the page is fluid and it does it. And that's the way I see that the Flutter working. Like you could just, everything kind of fluidly cascades down onto the form, whereas like in a rigid, like if you're using the XML layout in Android or the nib files or the storyboards, a lot of that is very fixed, and I like the way that it flows like an HTML page does. And let me know if you guys disagree with me on that. Matt says, thanks for the response. I agree with your thoughts on Unity IDE. Good. Well, it's not just me then, is it? Because every time I talk bad about Unity, it's like I insult, like I said a yo mama joke, right? It's like, dude, I'm just what I think, and I could be wrong. I didn't know half those libraries, but Unity has a ton of tutorials, so there's lots of places to build from. And that's one of the things that attracted me to Unity too. I was looking at Coco's 2DX, right? And then it was like there was a JavaScript version of it, Coco's 2JS. Well, this is like years ago, but like the documentation was not there. The same with the Flame, like Flutter Flame. It was really cool, but it was like, wow, if it's changed so much from this version to this version, and all this documentation is out of date, then what, this is like just, it's not worth my time to go into it until it settles down. And it's obviously if it's changed so much that you can't even use the code from like 4 months earlier, then that's too. It's like if you add a stock, if you're talking about in terms of stock, it's volatile. The framework is too volatile. So, but Unity is like, it's been around. Everyone is talking about Web 3.0 and Metaverse. What's your thoughts about it? It's interesting, but it's one of those things. I think it's too early to really get that involved in, because, I mean, I was looking into that. Like, would it be worth doing, like, just investigating a little bit? And I thought, no, that's a shiny object that I'm going to go chasing after, and we don't even know if it works. A few years ago, I did the same thing with the Amazon speakers and Google Play dialogue flow. It was very cool, and then like there wasn't a demand for it, right? It's, if you're not a big manufacturer, if you're not like like if you're just an independent developer, the monetization methods of it were just too crude, because I will pay for an in-app purchase. I will, I will download an application. But when it comes to an app on one of the smart speakers, I'll never pay for anything on that. Like, to me, it's too foreign. So like, so when it comes to the metaverse, I think it's still too new, right? The monetization thing is kind of weird. It would be like I mean, it's not that it's not worth learning, but like at the moment, I think it's like, if you could learn, like start learning it, because that maybe 5 years from now it would be profitable, but I don't know if it would be. Let me know if you guys disagree with that. North Pole Design. Hey, how's it going? I'm glad I'm catching you live. Yeah, I hope everything's working out with that app too. Let's see. Thanks, Theo Taylor. Ann D says, I wanted to travel this year, but the cases have gone up. Yeah, I'm the same. Last year, last year. It's not even last year anymore. 2020, that was my year. I went to Slovakia, and that was it. Then everything locked down, and then last year I did go to 2 places. I went to Portugal, and I did a live stream from Portugal, and I went to Ireland, and so that was kind of nice. And this year I definitely want to get out and travel. It's like a thing. This year I'm turning 50. It's like I was born in 1972, so this year is the year I'm turning 50. And where I thought I'd be freaking out about it, now I'm starting to think, 50 isn't old. 50 is like, dude, I got loads of good years left in me. Although once I lose it, get the 6-pack and all that, as we previously established. But yeah, so like but that's the thing. The clock is still ticking. I want to go someplace, do something. Let's see. MS Ethio says, hi, Overpass Pass. Hey, Theo. How's it going? Let's see. MD says, yeah, I agree about the new Google Play ratings system. It's messed up big time. It seems like a lot of this. So I got an email yesterday for somebody asking, like, how are your clients dealing with the changes in the algorithm? And the thing is, a lot of my clients are corporate clients, so they don't really have to deal with discoverability to the same level that a lot of independent developers do. Because which is kind of nice as a developer, because it's like it's not something that I have to be concerned with, but it's for the rest of us, we're still trying to get our own apps discovered on those platforms, so we have to think about all these kind of things. But it's a bit like when YouTubers were like finally starting, YouTubers are becoming famous, and then the big movie stars and television shows came to YouTube, and they were like, they're crushing it because they brought this existing audience with them, and all these people who have fought for that for the rankings and the followers and everything like that, they're kind of just pushed to the side in a large extent because they don't have the budgets and everything that those big corporations do. I kind of feel the same way about the App Store. Like, a lot of these big apps could come in and put something out there, but at first they were like holding off to wait to see how things were going. But yeah. Oh yeah, you guys like my new poster? Christmas present. Let's see. Jody says, with the new Google Play rating system, I think that it will be mainly harder for new apps. Previously, you had a global rating ranking with only 5 reviews. Now you need reviews in every country. Yeah, no, I imagine so. I mean, because of that, it might even be worth just focusing on one country at a time. Let's see. And Andy says, are you into crypto? So that was it. I don't know if so I've been asked this many times before, and I'm always like, oh, I don't know nothing about crypto. And I still know nothing about crypto. But this week I finally bought some coins, or fractions of a coin. I actually put only like 100 pounds. I put 100 pounds into crypto just to see what it was like, baby steps. And yeah, watch that drop quick. But and I only did it in in Ethereum and Ethereum, and then one other one, and a little bit into Bitcoin, like $5 into Bitcoin, $5 into Bitcoin, and so it was just that just to see what it's like, kind of like like when you sign up for a social media account, you're like, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this social media account, but I just kind of want to see what it's like because everyone does. So, and I'm not, because to me, it's when I think about all the scams and the people creating their own coins and pump and dump kind of stuff, and it's like, so I'm just experimenting. So yeah, I'm not into it big time. I'm just sort of like this week, literally on, I think it was Monday. I think it was last Monday, like a week ago. I bought like 100 pounds of Ethereum, and then I put like 10 pounds in and 10 pounds again, and I watch it like just go down. Like, so I've been looking at it every day, and it's just like so yeah. For those guys who know more about it, by all means chime in, because that's not my thing. So let's see. Adria says just had a McPlant. It was yuck. Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just like, my whole thing is I'm not going there. And then I drove my son back to university the other day, and the only thing like halfway between there was a service station is a McDonald's. I'm like, oh, maybe I should have picked something else. But that's what it's it. So, but I'm going to try to eat better just in general, because like I said, I work out a lot. I work out a lot, but like I just don't eat very well. Let's see. Spaghetti Dude says 50. Oh my God, dude. I know. I don't know how it happened. I was just living my life, just getting on with things, just doing stuff. But now I'm getting to the point now where, because before it was like, oh my God, 50. Like, but now I'm thinking, you know what? I'm glad I'm 50. Like, it's, because I don't feel old. I feel, I feel the same. Like, I still feel like I still like a teenager sometimes. Like, like, still unsure of yourself with certain things, still like, still figuring things out. Like, I still feel young. But then you think, for those of us who are similar age or older, like, we know what it's like to have an 8-track cassette or an 8-track player, or we know what it's like to have a rotary dial phone and a black and white TV. I mean, as a second TV, it wasn't like, color existed, obviously. Know what it's like, the first time I saw a microwave oven, first time I saw a remote control, first time I saw, all that kind of stuff. And, so yeah, now we get to work in this really cool age where everything moves so fast that, and again, going back to the crypto thing, I cannot be that guy who falls into the trap of, oh, that's for young people. Like, nah. You got to get into this stuff. Got to learn this stuff, right? Otherwise, the brain will deteriorate and all that kind of stuff. But yes, that's right. I am. If you cut me open, you would see 49 and a half rings. So, Andy says, Mark Zuckerberg is backing Metaverse, and I'm thinking it will be a hit. But yeah, they also backed Parse. It'll be a hit, but Oculus prices have come down for the masses to adopt. I watched a video on YouTube, a day in the Metaverse. I could see the future. Markets down. Yeah, well, I think that too. With the Metaverse, it looks interesting, and to me, I've tried the HTC Vive, and I've tried a few of those different ones, and it's amazing. But I want like I'm not a gamer, so like if it seems like the kind of thing where it's like I love the idea of just being able to tour someplace and walk around and everything. But it's like, we also need to get out and do more. And again, because I've always just been a 2D developer, like when it comes to games, like the whole 3D thing is like, I'm fine with 2D mobile, I'm fine with that. And when it gets to that bit, there's a whole other dimension involved. So like, so when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm thinking, yeah, and then the monetization, and it's when I see everybody carrying around an Oculus Quest, when I see one in every when sales of that start to go up, then yeah, maybe it might be time to start thinking about it. Unless it's possible you could be a developer in that, be an early adopter, but I know nothing about the ecosystem, nothing about the development languages, nothing about anything when it comes to that. Market's down. Yeah, it doesn't feel down. Market went down just as I bought some. I mean, like I said, it was only 100 pounds. So it was like, I wasn't like hugely going into it. It was like kind of like let's just see let's dip my toe in and see what this feels like. Let's see. Theo Taylor says, I'm looking at Apple's AR headset. Yeah, I'll bet it would cost $1,000. I wonder how much it will cost. Let's see. Andy says, you don't look your age. Thanks. I don't feel my age. Let's see. MD says 50 is the new 60. Thank you very much. And when I get to 60, then 60 will be the new. No, wait. 50 is the new 60. Yeah. Wait. That's backwards, right? Shouldn't it be 50 is the new 40? Wait, do you mean I'm saying I should feel like I'm 60? Oh man, I'm gonna start like watching World War II documentaries. I'm gonna start like reading books about cowboys. I'm gonna let's see what else. Yeah, well, I do complain about the price of the movies. I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, when I say you can't get into the mentality of feeling like an old person, but yeah, when you go to the movies and it's like 12 pounds, you're like, I can remember going. I remember when I was a kid, but you know, okay, don't say it out loud. Just think it. Let's see. Theo says mixed reality. Okay, yeah, the AR headset, mixed reality stuff in general. Yeah, no, it sounds. I mean, it sounds really, really cool. I love the idea of it, but then I also, you know, like I don't know. To me, it's too new, right? It's like I have to see it before I invest in it. Like even with the smart speaker, I remember a few years ago, Gary Vaynerchuk's talking about how, look, the smart speaker and the voice market is going to be huge, right? And it's like I haven't seen it, right? It seems like, see, spaghetti, it's all in the brain. No matter how old, I still act like a child. Yeah, that's right. When somebody farts, I still laugh, right? That's it. That's how you know. 50 is the new 30. Okay, here we go. All right, thanks. Now I deserve a free T-shirt. I don't have like loads of T-shirts. But yeah, we should do that. We should do the T-shirts, right? So one of the things of the last year is the channel started to grow a lot slower, like because I've not been putting out content a lot. We've been doing live streams and everything, but it's kind of one of these, you know, but not, you know, focus on other stuff, and you know, it's. But I still love doing the videos, and I love, you know, having, you know, being able to talk with you guys regular. So, but yeah, no, it'd be cool to get some T-shirts and everything, and you know, do that kind of stuff. $1,000 for an Apple headset. Have you seen their monitor stand pricing? I know. Apple's like, what was that the comedians used to talk about? Like, well, I think it was Jerry Seinfeld used to say, like, do people who work at the airport think everything costs like that? Yeah, you know, $20 for a tuna sandwich? Yeah, that seems fair. But that's Apple. Apple's like, you know, they're just like so skewed, right? Yeah. Let's see. Apple cloth costs $20. Headsets $3,000. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you know, that's the thing, and that's that. You know, so it'd be nice to see them coming out with a lower price iPhone. I mean, when they came out with the $1,000 one, then that was kind of like everybody like, ooh, right? And for me, I've always bought the phones like outright because I don't like the whole contract thing. Being, you know, okay, when I, you know, in only 18 more months, I'll get out of this contract and I get a new phone. Right? I hated the idea of that. So I always have the SIM deal, and I've got so many phones already. You know, I've got for me, it's just going out and buying the one. So yeah, it would be good to see that. Let's see, foldables or rollables. You know, again, yeah, no, I've seen the foldables. Well, rollable would be cool. Actually, rollable would be cool, but you know, to me, it's gimmicky, right? They're like, it's like it's up there with hey, new iPhones are coming out. It's coming out in purple. It's like, how's that? Like, okay, well, it's fine, right? No, this phone folds. Like, was that a problem before that it didn't fold? Was that a thing? You know, like, was that like, what problem was that solving? I don't know. Are you making it slightly smaller? Like, that's smaller but thicker? I don't quite get that. So anyway, so hey everyone, well, that's the end. We got to the end of the questions. Wow. Hey, let me say again, Happy New Year, guys. Thanks everybody for liking the live stream and everything like that. And thanks for being here. It's been kind of fun to hang out. I mean, it's been fun to hang out. I'm not sure whether I was thinking when this year started to maybe do the live streams a different night of the week, just because, you know, Monday's probably the most convenient for me, just to, you know, and we just hang out and stuff like that. And it seemed like everyone was doing theirs on Friday night. Steve P. Young was doing his on Friday night. CoffeeZilla was doing his on Friday night. Like, the Friday night was so busy that it was like, you know, it was like, yeah, just move it to Mondays because, first of all, it's, you know, it's Monday. Who doesn't like Monday? Let's see. Folds from a phone into a tablet. Yeah, but you're still, even when you talk from phone to tablet, you're just talking about a size thing, right? I mean, to me, it would be like, so I've got my iPad around here somewhere. like I've got 2 iPads. And I never understood why the iPad wasn't like just an extension of the phone, why it was just like a bigger phone, right? And the same with the Android tablet. Like, I got my phone and I've got my watch, which is paired with my phone. So my watch doesn't do that much. The Apple Watch doesn't do that much if you don't have the phone with you. But the iPad, you basically have the same apps installed on it, the same everything. So why isn't the iPad just a screen that's tethered to the phone? I never understood that, right? Well, why the phone? This should be like the one place where your data is stored, the one place you spend all your money, and then you link up to your monitors and your iPads and everything like that. And but I guess let's see. And it finally folds the phone. Were you at the UK DroidCon this year? They made a big push on foldables. You talking about last year? No, I didn't even realize that was going on. It's one of those. It's like, to me. All right. So to me, foldables, and I could be wrong, but to me, foldables are like 3D movies. It's like they're trying to innovate into something that's not that exciting, right? 3D movies were not like a huge revolutionary thing. We're like, oh, dude, we're seeing it in 3D. And you just like, oh, is it on in 3D? I might as well go see it in 3D if it's showing in 3D. But like, if not, no big deal, right? Like if you're gonna buy a phone, you're like, does it fold? All right, no big deal, right? To me, that's not a huge thing, right? It's like the Apple Pencil, that was kind of like huge. Like the watch was huge. The lots of other things that came out was huge, but like that, it's like, that's nothing. Favorite gadget of 2021. Well, I don't know if it's a gadget, but I got my MacBook Air in 2021. So I got quite a few. I got my Apple Watch. I guess I gotta be my Apple Watch, even though it's not that, because what the thing I hated about having a regular watch was the fact that the battery lasted so long, right? I was like, if only I had a watch that I had to charge every single night, and it tracks your sleep. So you got this whole thing like, do I wear the watch to sleep and not charge it, or do I charge it and then, or wear it at night and then go the next day thinking I have to remember to charge it before I go out and do anything, otherwise I'll run out of battery by like 9 a.m. So yeah, but other than that, I think that was kind of cool. What else? That's probably it for me. I mean, it's not like a necessarily new thing. Also, favorite app and game of 2021. My favorite app of 2021, probably because I was getting into the doing boxing, and there's one called Punch Lab where it's really cool because basically you could put the phone, basically it uses the sensors in the phone. You could put it up against, you could strap it to a heavy bag and it will count the punches for you. And of course you put your headphones on and it'll play the audio for you and basically say, okay, next round, do this, and it would talk you through all that stuff. And that I thought was really cool. What else? Other apps that I've been using a lot. That was probably my favorite one. And I don't know if it was new in 2021, but it was like something I discovered in 2021. So, and favorite game. I'm not big on games myself, so so I'm not really best to answer that question. But anyway, hey everybody, I'm calling it. I got to get on with the day. I hope you guys are having a great day. Have a great week. I'm trying to get 2 videos out this week, and hope you guys stay healthy and safe. And I'll talk to you guys again next time. So thanks again for showing up. See you guys later. This is why I awkwardly can't remember how to leave the live stream. All right, pretend I've left already. Here we are. Bye.
Winterland, tell me all your secrets. Fill me in on your wildest moments.